imagine he does not have money. The
And
two things he
looks.
has to choose between is looks and money.
You
Which
said
one?
looks and attitude.
Looks and attitude. Which one will take him to more places?
I think it's looks.
It's looks. It cannot be attitude.
It's looks.
Now let me ask you. I know what I gave you. Please tell me what you gave me. Now let me ask you.
Hello people, it's your boy Ambassador again. I'm sure by now people have noticed we have two beautiful ladies beside me. They are new faces compared to the podcast we usually have, so I'll just let them introduce themselves. Right here we have.
My name is Vijendru and I'm a student. I'm also an entrepreneur and a forex trader.
Oh, okay, cool. Student in?
The University of Buea,
What are you studying?
Food Science and Technology.
Okay, cool.
And I am Jenny Brown. I'm a spoken word artist and a mass communication student.
Okay, perfect. So, because usually I'm sure the audience is used to different faces here, they don't introduce you guys, so they're like, okay, they'll not think that the other girls are going to do plastic surgery. So it's different faces we have here. And as usual, it's not about the faces, it's about the opinions. We just want to have diverse opinions. That way it's a broad spectrum. And I tell people, like, it's just like you identify yourself. Like, this person thinks like me, but these are the shortcomings in their thought. And this other person has different ideas, but I like this idea, I can improve upon my thought process and things like that. So we're already talking with the guys. I don't know if you have caught wind of it. We had a ranking, right, of various things. I think it's attitude, intelligence, money, and what else? Looks. Yeah, those four things. So just to start, I'm sure you guys already have the list. What's your ranking?
Okay, so for me, first is intelligence.
Okay.
Because I believe that the mind is one of the strongest forces in the universe.
Yeah.
Yes, somebody who is intelligent will know how to solve every problem. Like,
Okay.
I'm not just talking about normal intelligence like book work, financial intelligence,
Okay.
somebody who is spiritually intelligent, and somebody who just knows how to solve a problem when they see one.
Okay.
Yes, for me it's intelligence. Then secondly, money. Because everybody likes money. I don't think there's literally nobody who can dream that they don't like money. And I feel like somebody who is intelligent will know how to make money. Somebody who is intelligent will understand and know it's not only about this or that. I have to be financially capable of doing one or two things.
Yeah.
Yes. And after money, I think I'll go for
Looks, attitude.
looks.
Looks.
Yeah. Because attitude is not the first thing that people see when they look at you. Like, you should be able to look nice. Normally, if you have money and you're intelligent, you know that branding is very important. You know that you have to look in a particular way because you are creating an impression to people. Yes, so I think I'll go for looks, then now attitude. Because generally, like I'm saying, intelligence covers everything. Somebody who's intelligent will know that, no, I need to fix this part of my life. I need to be able to relate to people more and stuff like that. Like, normally, if you are intelligent, right, I think you can do everything. Honestly.
So usually when we have the mixed conversations, right, people sit according to how their thoughts are rhyming. So I'm already seeing who we are going to be sitting next to when we sit together with the guys, because your thought is going in a certain direction. I don't want to classify it, but I think the chairs, we are going to look for a name for that particular chair we will be sitting.
Alright.
That group. Okay, you give me your list.
I think it's going to be attitude, intelligence, money, then the looks. Attitude because
break it down.
attitude because your attitude to take you places,
Okay.
your attitude to connect you to people you didn't even think you might come in contact with.
Yeah.
Then your intelligence, how you perceive things or how you are able to manage something,
Yeah.
will also give you that kind of connection or relations that you actually need.
Yeah.
Then coming back to money, money solves all problems.
We put
And-
money last though.
No looks.
Oh, looks is last.
Looks is
money
last.
comes first.
Yes, money.
But looks was
Looks came before attitude.
before attitude for
Yes,
you.
attitude.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now, because most of the time, okay, wait, looks is what on your list?
I think,
Fourth.
Yes, there are 5 points, right?
No, 4.
Then looks is the third.
It's the
Because
third.
attitude.
And your looks is
The last.
the 4th. Okay, yeah. Because I wanted to ask, like, most of the time, I wanted to ask you because you guys are girls, right?
Yes.
I said you guys are girls. So, in our society, most of the time, I think generally in the world, even, but I'll focus on our society because that's what I master the most. Guys don't really focus on looks that much. They just feel like if I have the money, the intelligence, it's good.
Yeah.
And that reflects in your list because you girls are not also looking for looks that much. You have
Yes.
other factors on top of your list
Yes.
before looks. Which, if I'm being honest, a good majority of guys will rank looks very high on their list compared to where people have ranked it. I think if you watch us discuss with the guys, it was really heated because one of the guys felt like looks is not that important. One of the guys felt like looks is really important on his own list. Yeah, so that's already one similarity with you. I thought one of you was going to put looks high, but both of you, one has it, looks is third, looks is last.
Last.
Yeah. So that's already a similarity when it comes to girls' looks. The money is what on your list?
Money is second.
Second.
After
On your
Money
list?
is dead.
Good. Okay. When you put money, so money comes before
is it looks?
looks and
Attitude.
attitude. So even if a guy has money, his attitude is not that good. Because your list was tricky, right? You kept on merging things, saying if a guy is intelligent, he will no. Just
That's not
assume.
what you want.
In life, people are not one thing. It could be linked, but I'm still letting assume that you have to choose. When we say a scale of preference, it means if the worst comes to the worst, you have to choose. This guy has bad attitude, but has money. Are you going to still date this guy? His attitude is not a bad, it's not that good, but he has more money. You still date him if you have put money above attitude. That's what trying to analyze your list will look like.
Honestly, I don't think I'll date him if he has a bad attitude.
Okay.
Because I don't like attitude. First of all, what does attitude actually mean? Like attitude is the way you relate, the way you see things now. Like
No,
the
but you
values
put
that you
it
have.
above.
Yes, I've not refused. I'm trying to make a point here.
Yeah.
Attitude like is the values that you have, the values that you pursue now.
Yeah, and also how it
But
translates to how you
re-
behave with people, interact
Yes,
with people. Yeah.
yes. So I think I will not date the guy because
Okay.
like while you have a bad attitude and you have money, normally I feel like if you have a bad attitude and you have money, like money is kind of a bit temporal. Like it's not only about money. Like
Yeah.
you need to be smart enough to know that this money you have to
But
invest
you know there are
in.
many guys who have bad attitude but have money though.
Obviously.
When I
Because
say
the
bad
money
attitude, right?
has-
Maybe let's not use the word bad attitude. With the guys we're alternating between strong attitude and bad attitude, right? I don't know if you guys know Elon Musk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yes,
Elon Musk has
everybody.
divorced like twice. I don't know if it's because we want to say that he has a bad attitude, but I also understand why the women would think that he has a bad attitude. Because Elon Musk will say, okay, he doesn't have time to call you back.
Yeah.
He's focusing. Imagine a guy who he's launching spaceships into space. He's running Tesla. He has had like a couple of startups and things like that. That guy does not have time to. If he was texting you that much, there would be no Tesla today.
Do you really think so?
Yes, I think so. Because at times as human beings, we think that we can have it all. I always tell guys that you cannot have it all. Don't think you can have a guy who is very intelligent, very handsome, very rich, very smart. Why? It does not work like that. He has to, I tell people like we have 24 hours, he has to balance out certain things. If he has to focus on the best romantic guy, that guy might be broke. But in your list, you're merging that if he's intelligent, then you have money. But let's put, for example, this guy is intelligent but he does not have money. Are you still going to marry him?
I don't think it's possible because
It's
I
possible.
made it very clear that I'm not speaking all about intelligence that you go to school, you're taking first. No, financial intelligence, you know how to manage money, you know how to
That's why
you know
I
how
came back to your
invest.
list saying that I feel like you were how can I tell you, attaching all the four things in your
Yes,
list.
that was the
But we
first
want,
point
if
that
we
I
say
made.
scale of preference, we want to be able to say this one is a standalone, this one is a standalone. If I have to choose between a girl who has bad attitude and money, because at times when it comes to relationship, those choices have to be made. I know girls, I'm always saying this thing, girls feel like they can have it all, but you cannot have it all. At a certain point in time, the guys will come and will ask them, right? But you cannot have it all. When you have a guy who is that romantic, he cannot be very romantic and be very rich. If he is very rich,
No. I think I disagree with that because
Honestly,
being romantic comes from within. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you will not have money
like
if you're smart. Because using your intelligence, you
in
can
life
actually
now,
Did you-
in
did you
life-
get my
in
point of
life
what I
you
mean
need
by
to- You
romantic?
need to know how to balance everything.
let me give you the guys to say what
That's
romantic,
true.
right?
Yes.
Girls want somebody to get in the morning and say, "Hello, baby, how are you doing?" Write a very nice poetic message.
Not all girls.
That's what I'm just saying. That's what I was talking about.
It
Romantic.
also comes down to the girl because the girl has to understand if she decided to date somebody who's an entrepreneur, somebody who's rich.
That's
like,
what girls complain
the
about.
boy she has to understand that.
She will say, okay, let me ask
She
you another
needs
one.
to-
Then at least
Plan
you
her
should play
everything.
time.
Yeah,
At
you
least
should-
you
you
He
should
cannot
play
have
time.
time.
No,
Why
you
can't you
cannot
have
tell
time?
me that in a day you cannot have.
Do you
Why
know
can't you
what
have
it
time?
means
Your girlfriend that, hey,
Do you know what
babe,
it
I'm
means
busy,
to
I will
start
take
run a
you
company
down.
like Tesla and SpaceX at the same time?
He's
Don't
running
know
it. He has
but-
other people who are under him.
No, he's always
Honestly.
running those companies, and you say that guy should have time to come and be texting.
He's the one.
What?
He's the one. What's
1
the
minute
assistant
of
there
how many
for?
hours? 24 hours. That's what will make his company to fall down.
It's
I
not
don't
going to make his
understand.
company to fall down, but he does not have the 1
No.
minute to give you.
I honestly
He,
feel
no, no,
like
no, 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 no. He hasn't thought
businessman
his
or whatever,
priorities.
You need to know how. Yes, that's it.
He hasn't thought
He
his
has
priorities.
to know how to prioritize.
No, he has thought his priority. His priority is Tesla. That's why he
Yeah,
has
he should
divorced
not
her.
date now. Okay,
That's why he
period.
divorced her.
Period. Thank
That's
you.
why I'm
That's
saying
what I just
that
left.
girls should be able to know that, okay, if I also want a man who's as rich as Elon Musk, I cannot expect this same guy to be
Yes.
sending me love messages all the time.
No.
I cannot expect
I'm
him to
trying
come and plan my
I'm trying
birthday.
to understand with you, but yeah, always like I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
Life is about balance.
Yes.
You cannot. Elon Musk got married, right?
Yes, twice.
Yes, and he divorced.
Yes.
I don't know, like, as a businessman, you need to know how to prioritize. You need to know that, okay, even if it's that one bad now, how? Let me just text this girl and tell her that, okay, I'll text her in the evening or call her later. Like, you have to communicate with the
When you're
partner. That's what I'm
chasing
trying
your
to say
dreams,
now.
at times when you forget to eat.
Then
If I
don't
can
think, if you
forget
want to
to
chase your
eat,
dreams,
how can I
chase,
get them?
don't
Chase
do it
your
now.
dreams, then you come for love after when
Yes,
you settle.
if you know that
If you know you
able to
cannot create a balance
Which
or
works for
stabilize
me, but at times Elon Musk is not 20. You cannot tell him to chase his dreams and he counts for love. I don't even think he's
Elon
coming
Musk
for
is already
love.
rich.
Right? I don't think
Oh God.
he's already rich, but he still has dreams that are bigger than the dreams I can achieve in my 2 lifetimes.
So what's stopping him from creating?
That guy created what do they call? Is it what they call? Is it PayPal or something like that? Which they sold, then took his money. So I would imagine like if I have a PayPal investment and it makes those millions he has made, why am I killing myself to another company? But he's just that driven, and the world needs people like that to come out with some kind of inventions in the world. But I'm always saying that I don't think women, and I think your conversation is good, but I want the guys to come on board because your lists are very similar-ish.
Yeah.
Both of you put looks down. Everything which is like her 3 is either your 4 or your, it's very close. It's not upside down like what the guys list was. That's why I had a very heated conversation with the guys. But I also feel like because your lists are that similar, it's a problem for the guys.
Why?
Why should you be
I
open?
wish that we had a very wide spectrum of girls. Some girls that they are like, I don't even like me romantic things. I don't even have me time for those things.
Women are
That way, guys,
naturally born.
That's what I'm saying.
affectionate.
Yes.
Which is the
That's
problem
just
for
the
guys
nature.
because all we cannot have any girls who tell us that they don't like love things, they don't want to get married, they don't. Most girls are in that camp. So it makes now guys who are like, I'm not interested in all of these things, you are still forced to settle down with a woman who wants those things. And then now it ends up in the Elon Musk situation where you put divorce.
Oh.
Honestly,
Oh.
I feel like emotion inspires action.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, because
Great.
I don't know. There are very stories of people who maybe they come from poor homes, they don't have food, water. That's already an emotion that was already inspired, and the emotion now inspired them to work hard and then make it in life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of connected. I don't know why you should kill your emotions and just be like, okay, you want to focus on the game, whatever, the hustle.
No, but I'm asking you,
You
like,
need to.
ever think about it, right? What it takes to run a
Can I?
company like Tesla.
Can I say something?
I don't know how.
Go ahead.
Just like,
Okay, I use attitude as a first because putting money as a third option.
Yeah.
Money changes people.
yeah.
Money
For good
changes
or for bad?
people. Both.
Both ways.
Both.
Poverty does not change
There's
people.
this thing that they say, money.
For me, poverty
money
would make me the
only
psychopath. I'll be
Well,
traumatized.
When I say money changes people, it means when you have money, you change. And when you don't have money, that's a change you have to adapt.
You change too.
You understand?
Yeah.
So when you have money, the way you treat people, that's your attitude.
Yes.
And when you don't have money, the way you treat people, that's also an attitude.
Yes.
So giving your attitude, the first place, means your attitude, like I said, your attitude will take you places. The way you relate, like what she said, the way you relate to people,
Yeah.
was
But you
like,
don't think money and looks could take you to more places than attitude will?
yes, you looks, because normally nobody wants
Especially
to get
for
married.
girls.
Yeah.
But for some girls,
No,
some
most.
girls, let me say for
looks
some
will
girls.
take girls more places than looks will even take guys.
Yes, because if they are fine girl privileges.
That's what I'm saying, and it works more for girls. That's what I'm just saying now. So for girls, looks is a door opener for them, which you will not rank it like that because you are not the people giving the girls a privilege. But boys will rank like that because they are the ones now giving the girls the privilege. Because of their looks.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what I'm just saying.
True.
But what I was going to, because we had that conversation with the guys where we're saying that we should not overrate attitude because money and looks at times open more doors than attitude will open. I know our parents would like us to believe that attitude will open us more doors, but believe me, looks, money opens more doors than attitude. Because at the end of the day, the person who is giving you the opportunity is not going to live in the same house with you. He just wants what he wants, and if you have money, if you have good looks, and he thinks that he could benefit from those two things, then
I connect attitude to money because if in case you're rich or you have surplus money and you're humble, your humility will take you to places.
but that's what you have said. The person already has money. Then that's why I keep on emphasizing when I was talking about a list. Split it up. Imagine that they say one or the other. Either he has looks or he has attitude. So don't say that he already has money, then now attitude taken to places. Imagine that he does not have money. The
And
two things he has to choose between is looks and money.
You said looks and attitude.
Looks and attitude. Which one will take him to more places?
I think it's looks.
It's looks. It cannot be attitude.
It's looks.
Seriously.
Because for
Yes.
example, if you just
It's
got
looks.
like there's
I don't
this
think
film
looks
Better
really
Half.
No.
Like there's this
Men.
film.
It's
There's
no.
this
Talking
film.
about men, right?
Men, yes, even men.
There's this film
The guys
Better
tell
Half.
you, even I say not as much as women,
So
but
it's not
even
fine
men.
boy privilege.
There's
100%.
this film.
From women, not from men.
There's this
Now the
film.
word is very bad, but you
This
cannot
can I
say,
say
but
something?
even more from
Wow.
women though.
There's this film Better Half. We don't know that guy, but just because he's handsome,
Yeah.
he's everywhere. He's everywhere. You see people's girlfriend crushing on him. You haven't met him in person, but just because he's cute.
Mm-hmm.
People's girl, oh, he's an actor.
Yes, he's an
Yeah,
actor.
I think the film is trending. I've not even watched it.
I thought that I watched it, but maybe the one you're
He's
talking
a
about,
fine man.
Yeah, obviously.
That's what we call about looks. And we don't know if he's acting,
Yeah.
he's doing a role, or he's putting himself in somebody's shoe. We don't know his attitude. You
And
get- we
most
don't
of
know
the
how
time,
proud or humble.
People just
he
feel
is.
that good looks means that you have good
Okay,
attitude.
you
But
Yes.
watch Big Brother.
Mhm.
You remember, I think last season when Shex came to the house and
Yeah,
everybody was like, I
my
think that's
man,
another
my
very
man.
relatable story.
Then
why?
he
Because he
came.
had good looks.
Yeah.
Then he
Okay.
came into the
And his
house and
attitude-
How
he
was
was,
the attitude?
his attitude wasn't the best.
Yeah, and most of the
I still
time,
like Shex.
yeah, and most of the time, oh, but you still like
I
him.
don't-
You hear what I said now, right? That's her conclusion. He has a bad attitude, but he has good looks, but
No,
she
I
still
could,
likes
I could
him.
never. He was so toxic.
I still like Shex.
You still like him, not like him.
No, I liked him on
Okay.
photo. I liked, but getting into the house and seeing
His character
his
now, you do not like him anymore.
I actually like
Okay.
him and Bella.
but out
All
of the
them.
house now, at least maybe
Because
he
like
treats her
people
better.
cut. I remember like when we were growing up, we were always saying that when you're wonder we were saying that they métis sont feignants. So most of the people who are métis, mixed colored, always have a very kind of, they feel like the world revolves around them. People should give them favors, send them attention. We're always like, why are all these métis people like this? But it's just because growing up, people make them feel like they're special.
Yes, they're handsome.
And then they feel that they are special. But now, the more we grow up, we realize that it works in their disfavor though. Most métis guys don't know how to chat girls. Because maybe growing up, girls just came to him, so he did not develop that
Yes, easily.
skill. He does not know how to hustle his way and make money because things just coming to him. So as he's growing older, where he's facing out real life, he becomes handicapped. So most of the time, I think those looks, which is somehow contrary to what I'm saying, I was telling the guys that I think it is short term looks will help you out.
Yes.
Attitude is a very long term thing, which I think is a good thing where I hope that people are really ranking, that people really mean it. I think
Yes,
it's
I
a
mean
good
it.
thing to rank
I mean
attitude
it.
high because long term speaking, attitude is more important than those things. But short term speaking, of the first look before getting to the relationship, I'm first looking at
Because if you
Intelligence and
actually
money.
want to rank
Attitude is wrong.
looks
Yeah.
for first, if you want to it means when you get old and you see how old
That's that
your
is
partner is. It
If
means
we are being
the
honest, we are
appetite
very
will no longer be
should I call
there.
it materialistic beings. We like to want to think long term, but if we are being honest, we think short term most of the time.
Yes.
Most of our decisions is just based on what we can
And
see, what we can think.
For attitude, how you love your partner, or how you make your partner feel loved.
Yeah.
I think that's how, or that's what will keep your marriage.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing you pass on to your children,
Very
and they will
important.
pass on to their children.
Very important.
And it's a
Children side.
generational something.
Yeah.
Because you cannot be a man and you have a bad attitude of beating your wife, and you think your son is seeing it,
It's going to do
and
same.
Yeah, I really like the point that he said that looks will give you short-term benefits, but attitude to give
Yes.
you long-term.
Yeah.
that's why it's
I
at
think
the
it's a
top.
very nice
Yeah.
listener.
It's at the top.
I think for me, there was one of the things I was discussing with the guys where I was watching this motivational speaker guy in the morning, and he was talking about the relationship between attitude and character. So he said, what did he say? Tough times produce tough men. Tough men produce good times. Good times produce weak men, and then weak men produce tough times. Have you seen the circle?
That's a long.
Let me break it down, right? So if my father is rich, my father was born poor. My
Yes.
father he becomes very hardworking. Those are the tough men. He works hard and then builds an empire. I am now born into a rich family. I now become a weak man
Yes, because
because of the good times I meet.
Yes.
Because my father was a tough man, he created a good time.
For you.
I am born in a good time, I become a weak man.
Yes.
When you are now a weak man, you cannot make good decisions, you squander
Tough
the money.
times.
Grrr. Now the next generation comes after you meets poverty.
Yes. Tough
Back to the
times.
tough times. So that's just a circle of life of so even some of those things like character and the rest, you have to form that character. You meet a man very humble, like some of these photos of Victor and the rest. They are humble, eating their plantain and plum and the rest. But his children now are grown, raised in that wealth. They become very naughty. They want the spaghetti, croissant, and whatever. Then they mess up all the money. Then they are now back to put. Then the next generation has to go back to the plantains and
Yes.
plums. Then so some of those things we will choose it, but then also based on what is thrown in front of you.
Yes.
I rank poverty. I rank money really high because for me, I come from a middle class family. I call it the lower middle class family, where I don't want to. I feel like the least wrong decision I make, my next generation is going to slide into
Suffer.
poverty.
Yes.
I don't want to slide into poverty, so I feel like I have to be very money conscious. I like what you're talking about, financial intelligence, all of those intelligence things, but that's for a holistic picture kind of discussion. In a discussion where we're trying to segment and say this is different from this, is different from this, they can be related because human beings are, should I call it integrated beings or whatever. But when we want to segment and say this differently, it becomes tricky and we prioritize it, it's difficult. So, but I'm very sure what the conversation of the guys, it will be a little bit more contradicting because one, the guys had opposing views. There are some of the views people have raised here which I'm going to bring on and discuss with the guys, and I'm very sure it's going to be. So I think this is the first time. The guys are very, very hostile or aggressive or dominating their discussion. So don't let them dominate you.
They wouldn't.
I'm team girls today. The guys should not dominate you in their own opinions. People should stand your ground with your opinions and what they. So I'm already coaching people before we go into the mixed conversation because I know how the guys usually come at it. And if you guys are in your shell and letting them, they are going to. And at the end of this, people watching some of these things just listen to the opinions and then make decisions. And we are hoping that we pass out the most balanced discussion. So if ladies are here, it's because we also want your own voice, and then the guys their voice, and then we put it together and have it blended. I tell people I feel like some of the shortcomings of our society is because it's a male-dominated world. So a lot of decisions which were made in the world were around, how do you call it, male-centric. It was from a man's perspective that most of the structures were built. But if we start integrating more of the women's opinions in life, it's going to be a more balanced society, and then it's going to be, for me, it's going to be more progressive if we have both wings to fly with. So I think the purpose of this podcast is to have that balanced conversation. That's why I'm coaching you girls, like, don't go in there and let these guys dominate. It should be a balanced conversation. Your opinion should stand out in a very, very logical and strategic way. So as usual, guys, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. It's your boy Ambassador. You'll see us soon with the mixed conversation, and I hope you're learning from it. Like, share, subscribe. We out.